Hey y'all, we're back with another video. We are back. Hey. Hey.
Yes, there is more. You think that it's
Yeah, Trump family told him to concede the White House. They said to accept your loss gracefully and move on. How would you feel if you believe in your own mind that you want something fair and square, or the lack thereof, and your family tells you get rid of, like, leave, it's over with, it's a wrap, you should just go ahead and throw in a towel and hang it all up, right? So Jared Kushner and Melania Trump advised Trump to accept election losses. Basically, there is a video here, I do believe is lining up like one, but for now I'll just go ahead and read you what I have here in front of me, and I'll let you guys make the decision at the end of it. Should he just bow out gracefully? I told you yesterday that Trump is in court with lawyers. There was a lot of allegations of voter fraudulent activity and behavior. We went over some of those in the last, 2 or 3 videos on the election coverage. So you guys can go check out those videos if you want. But right now, I'm just going to read to you something from CNN. And let me see when this was published. On November 8th, believe it or not. President Donald Trump's inner circle is beginning to split over his ongoing refusal to accept the results of the 2020 election, as Jared Kushner and First Lady Melania Trump advised him to come to terms with President-elect Joe Biden's victory, and his adult sons pressed him and allies to keep fighting. So his household is divided. Have your household ever been divided? You're trying out for a job or a position, or like say in church, and one side of the family is saying, you lost. go ahead, give it up. Or the other side of the family is saying, no, keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting. That's how it is in the spirit world. One side is going to be for you and one side is going to be against you. And unfortunately, we have families that's divisive. Not in a bad way, but families that are divided because one feel like Trump should already have been, packed up his bags and went on back to New York the Trump Towers. And others feel in his family that he has a valid reason to keep fighting with all the alleged voter fraudulent behavior going on both sides, if you ask me. But Trump is saying more so on his side, they feel he should go ahead and stay. So Kushner, the president's son-in-law and senior advisor, has approached him to concede, two sources told CNN. The First Lady, according to separate sources familiar with the conversations, has privately said the time has come for him to accept the election loss. Now, we were having this conversation the other day about Melania, and some people said she can't wait to get the hell out the White House to get away from Trump. Right now, it seems like she's supporting her husband, kind of like Hillary Clinton did when Bill Clinton got outed out with Monica Lewinsky. She stood by her man. Right now, it seems like Melania Trump is standing by her man, but we know all throughout the presidency that she really didn't love her husband. Every time he went to grab her hand or hold her out in public, she kind of shunned him away and pulled away from him, right? We've seen no real love, no real family connection between this couple, right? So some people are saying, hell, she want her husband to hurry up and concede so she can get on with her life, right? As the ex-first lady. No, and maybe ex wife to Donald Trump, right? So meanwhile, Trump's two adult sons, Donald Jr. and Eric, have urged allies to continue pressing on, and they have pushed Republicans and supporters to publicly reject the results, even as CNN and other news organizations projected the race for Biden on Saturday. So there's a lot going on. How do you guys feel about being in a situation and, kind of like with Hillary Clinton, all right, when she was running, some people said she conceded way too early, or sometimes you may give in. None of us want to be quitters or ever give up, but when it comes to a presidential race and the amount of time that goes on after the election is over with, if someone is still in the White House, there has to be a legal time for them to exit out. And that legal time should be when all the right votes are in, right? When the vote has been counted fairly, when the vote is on the up and up. This is how I feel. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Biden supporter. Neither one of these people do anything for my spirit, my community, my people. So I'm not going to sit here and fake the front like a lot of black people did and go out for vote for white supremacy when I know white supremacy is against us. There's no way I'm going to uphold it in a powerful seat over me when I'm trying to bring it down. When other people in my community are trying to bring it down, you have other people in our community steady upholding it, right? So basically, Trump's campaign is planning a messaging bliss to fuel its argument, unsupported by any evidence to date, that the president's second term is being stolen from him through corrupt vote counts in battleground states. Three sources familiar with the matter told CNN on Sunday evening. So you got to admit, this is Tuesday, so this article is a couple days old. But what I do know is that since this article was written, there have been affidavits surfacing, telling people that there was some illegal activity going on around the whole polling, watching the polls, managers at the poll sites telling workers to do criminal activities, backdate the the votes to November 2nd, things of that nature. We've been talking about it on this channel briefly, just keeping you guys abreast as to what's going on in the world, because I know social media could be shallow for some of us. We're just hanging out with a set of people, going to certain content creators' live chats, hanging in certain sectors. But the world is so much bigger than that. And on this channel, we're not shallow, we're not ashamed, and we're not afraid to talk about pretty much any and everything, as long as it gives us some insight and wisdom how not to do what we're talking about and how to keep from doing what we're talking about, or how not to fall victim to situations we talk about. And I think that's fair over here. I just lost a supporter because I talked about Tasha K's Sweet Mom and VS. It is what it is, guys. You either like me or you don't. I'm okay with it. At the end of the day, when you leave here, just make sure the glory of the Lord go with you, okay? And because God says when they reject you, when they don't like you, shake the dust from your feet and keep it moving. And he'll remove the glory of the Lord from that place. So I'm not leaving you or forsaking you. Remember, you're leaving here, going out wherever you go. So I just pray you're safe and people have your best interests at heart wherever platform you land up on, whoever you decide to follow, because a lot of y'all followed Wendy Williams for the last 30 years. She's a liar, a drug addict, abusive to her staff, like they say, Ellen DeGeneres, whom y'all put on a pedestal over the years. So it's not my fault you're going out here following people that deceive you. I'm just not going to do it. And anything I talk about, even Trump, social media, myself, the world, it's not going to drown us today, okay? Because we talk everything with the intentions of God being in the midst of it. We talk everything with the intention of God being the answer to the problem at hand, okay? So with that being said, you know how I feel about elections. You know there is a Bible verse that says if you choose a king over me and that king don't do right by me and cause you to fall, I'm gonna judge and consume you and your king. And I believe that's what's going on here in America. It's very prophetic. It's very true. And it makes some sense in these last days to my spirit. So anyway, thank you for those who stay for the long haul. Thank you for those who come for the spirituality side of this channel. And thank you for those that come for the real reality of this channel. I'm a certain woman I'm a woman of a certain age, 53. I've lived my life trying to the Bible says my latter years are greater than my former years. And I'm just here, okay, doing the best I can with my channel. And if it's not for you, please don't make it a problem. Just go ahead where it is for you, all right? And I wish you well. So anyway, one of the ways it plans to do that is presenting obituaries of people. Oh Lord. So another thing I forgot to mention is dead people were voting this 2020 election. For the love of God, won't y'all people leave the dead alone? The Bible said let the dead bury the dead, but yet somehow when elections come up, census come up, you got people still living, people still voting, people still being counted on the census, and these people have went on to be with the Lord, or where however they rest their souls in the end. So they're presenting obituaries of people the campaign will claim voted in the election and considering having campaign-style rallies to imply the message, according to the two sources. So they're saying Trump's going to go around rallying again, not to mention that they raised millions of dollars, billions of dollars for the first election rallies, right? Now he wants to rally again and go around and prove to people where the voter fraud is coming in at, how people are voting and these people are deceased, how ballots were being backdated to November 2nd and things of that nature. So it is going to be crazy in these next couple of weeks. Um, the goal of the effort is to raise enough doubt, and again, if you can get people to believe, or if he can get people to believe that there's something illegal going on and have gone on, they may have a recount. I don't know how the courts will do it at this point. I'm interested to know, so I will be, checking in from time to time to see how they that is with politics, because it's not my life. But again, if they tell black people not to talk about politics and religion, this is how they win. This is how the West was won. Keep church and state separate. We'll screw over everybody here in the state, make sure the church ain't over us, and we'll get the church to be deceived and make sure God ain't over the church. And it's just one big crazy mess of a plan, right, that they have for America. All right, so like I said, I'm not too vested in politics like I am being spiritual and teaching people about the Word of God, or just having conversation about the Word of God, more so than I am talking about older white European Caucasian men who practice white supremacy, whom a lot of black people went out and voted for. I'm not with that. So, all right, so that's the goal. One of the goals is to put doubt in the American people mind, that the election was fraudulent, or put doubt that something was wrong going on. It says results that secretaries of state and battlegrounds feel pressure to open investigations or call on their own for recounts, something that would prolong the process and potentially give the campaign more time to advance its litigation through the courts. Again, because we all know court takes some time. It's not like you could just walk in there, state your case. So we don't know how long this is going to play out. But if you're scorned, if you are bitter, if you feel some kind of way, if you think the election was stolen from you, you probably would be doing the same thing Trump is doing, if it's a valid case, if there's really valid concern. Remember the Bush election down in Florida, hanging ballots, right? There's been so much controversy and chaos around the American politics. I don't see how, especially black people, is still involved with it. I don't see how spiritual people, church people, are still supporting it. But that leads me to believe that the church love to be deceived, the people thereof. You still love to be deceived, and that's what God don't want. He don't want you to be deceived, and unfortunately, American politics is the greatest deception in America, okay? So let's see. A previous fact check by CNN of claims by a handful of prominent Republicans, such as members of Trump's family and supporters like former House Speaker Newt Gingrich and former active director of national intelligence Richard Grenell, of dead people voting in Michigan fell apart under scrutiny. So again, they want to push the narrative that dead people are voting in Michigan, but that's falling under scrutiny. What's not falling under scrutiny in Michigan is that people were handing out Sharpie pens, I believe, so that they could vote for Trump, and then when they fill in their ballot, it would be all smeared. The machine couldn't read it. There's also an instance where one of the workers at the poll signed an affidavit and said that basically he was told by his supervisor at the polling place to backdate some ballots, I believe, for Biden that came in late, to November 2nd, so they looked at legitimate. So like I said, when you have this much controversy going around the presidency, I throw the whole damn presidency out with the bathwater. We have to start again. We have to figure out 2 new candidates. And that's something America should write into their policy going forward. If you're caught cheating in the election, If you're caught acting a damn fool, I'm just saying, if you're caught doing something criminal to cause the other person to lose the race, you should automatically be thrown out. Let's see if they're going to write this in as law, okay? Because remember, these are the people who make the laws, and these are the same people who always somehow end up breaking the law. And nobody could do anything about it, not even the church. That's why they say keep you separate. Because if they had to obey the laws of God, not necessarily the church, because the church itself is just like the damn state, right? But if they had to obey God, it wouldn't be this demonic and it wouldn't be this chaotic when it comes to us having a, free leader, I guess. Leader of the free world, I guess, So I be looking at things. Let's see where we are right now. Basically, we are almost done here. Let me finish up. We're a little under 30 minutes. So you guys, how do you feel? Would you be willing to leave? Can you surrender peacefully? So basically, it goes on to talk about, let me grab this link for you guys so that way you can pick up reading it on your own. But it goes on to talk about the legal challenges that Trump faces and things of that nature. I am going to go ahead and put this in the comments here. Trump's family tells him to concede. Okay, there we go. I hope this is helpful for you guys. Very informative. All right, and so with that being said, let me go back and see if we can pick up anything else on this. He looks so sad, y'all. That's a dang on shame. All right, so if you go on in the article, Trump's two adult sons have been key voices in urging the president and his allies to continue contesting the results of the 2020 election, according to multiple sources. Beyond public posturing on social media, both Don Jr. and Eric Trump have been digging in their heels, seeking to drum up broad GOP support for contesting the election's results and telling allies they genuinely believe the election was fraudulent. Again, if that's the stance, then that's what they believe, right? All right, if they believe their father is innocent and, children are going to stand up for their parents, right? Right, wrong, or indifferent. Hopefully these guys aren't just out here fighting for their father knowing he's wrong. Possibly they feel there's some reason to fight, right? So you guys can go ahead and read the rest. It's a pretty lengthy article. You guys can go ahead and read the rest of this article. And let me know what your thoughts are down below about Trump not wanting to concede, him believing that there is some illegal activity going on surrounding the election, him not wanting to, let's see what this says. Let's watch this. Hold on. Or listen to it. So the video is, what if Trump loses and refuse to concede? And it seems like, the world, the count is in, allegedly, and he lost, but he's having a hard time of relinquishing his power. Do you agree with that, guys? Let me know what you think about that. Do you think he's not being, an adult about it here? I have shirts over on teesprings.com, guys. You can get a shirt called Buy, BAAI, Be Adult About It, right? So we have to be adults about it in these last days, but Trump may not be acting like an adult here. Let me see. Why isn't it playing and what is going on? Is it this one? Well, guys, we may not be able to get a play in. It's like it's buffering or something. I don't know. Why isn't it playing? Anyway, I believe I gave you enough information in this video to let you know that Trump is having a hard time conceding the White House. He has his family, Jared Kushner and Melania, telling him to hang, throw in the towel. It's over. It's a wrap. I'm ready to go. You know, Jared's probably saying, I want to get home to my wife, whom the world is saying you're having a relationship with as her dad. And Melania's probably saying, I'm ready to get rid of this man. I can't wait till he concedes so I can get the hell up out the White House and on with her life, right? Maybe allegedly she want to go back to, was it stripping or risque dressing or something Melania was doing before she got with Trump. Allegedly Trump liked those kind of women, you know, the sexual overrated women. They call them exotic because they speak with another language or from a different country. And you know, Lil Wayne and what's his name, 50 Cent was on that BS as well, right? All right, guys, that's it for now. I'm going to go ahead and come back on screen. God bless you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on Trash Talking Tuesday. We're going to go ahead and end it. Let's give it 30 seconds and you guys will be at it. You've been watching ReligionWinked TV and my spiritual ears stay. And guys, hopefully I can catch you on the next upload, live, and or premiere. And we can do it. Let's do it again. Alright, so with that being said, shalom everybody, God bless you and have a great day. I think this was an amazing video, so I'm going to drop some bombs on it.